Hello, hello. Welcome to the Kiflo Roundtable. For those of you that are coming back, thank you so much for joining us again. And for everybody that's new, welcome. We're so excited to have you. We're going to just give maybe like 1 or 2 minutes. These are very fast events. They're 30 minutes. We move pretty quickly in here, so be sure to have those questions ready and put them in the chat whenever you want, really. We'll tackle them as they come. But before we do, I just wanted to give a brief introduction. We all want to introduce ourselves to you all and our companies also. So my name is Shawnee. I'm the head of marketing and partner marketing at Kiflo. We are a PRM software company, but we consider ourselves a partner success platform with all of our different offerings, our content, our academy, which is now live. So please check that out. But yeah, it's great to meet everybody and great to have everyone here. Juhi, do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Juhi Saha. I'm the CEO of Partner One. We're a company that helps companies build out partnerships and navigate Microsoft. So, really excited to be here with you.
Jennifer, do you want to take it?
I would love to. Hi, everyone. So nice to meet you. My name is Jennifer Snyder. I'm the Director of Partner Ecosystem Development, currently for CIO. And I come from a previous experience as one of the first 20 members of the HubSpot team.
Yay. Well, welcome. It's so awesome to have both of you here. And I feel very lucky because I've gotten to chat with both of you so much over the last month. Much to offer these folks. And please introduce yourselves also in the chat. We want to hear from you. Put LinkedIn profiles in there. We want to make sure that we are continuing to grow our community and our ecosystem always. So thank you so much for being here. Like I said, guys, put your questions in the chat. This is all things partner marketing. So we're here for you, and I'm sorry, not partner marketing, partner onboarding. We're here for you, and we want to hear your use cases. We want to hear what you're struggling with, what's working for you, what's not. And Juhi and Jennifer are here to tackle those. So we'll keep an eye out for that in the chat. But I have a question that I think could kick things off. One of the biggest things that you both emphasized in your Greatest Minds and Partnerships interviews was the idea of the internal alignment that needs to happen with the teams prior to building out, say, like the onboarding strategy. And I think even Jennifer at one point said, like, you can't swim in dirty waters, which has really stuck with me. But I'm really curious to hear from both of you ways that, because this is something we hear a lot come up with partnership folks, is like, really, how do we get this alignment? How do we get all the teams on board? And I'm curious how you both have done that in the past and how that alignment has impacted or improved your partner onboarding processes. How do you see those two things working together? Jennifer, maybe if you want to kick things off.
Yeah. Sure. I'm a big advocate. A partner ecosystem needs to be internal as well as external to be wildly successful. If you don't have internal alignment with the leadership team, with the product team, the marketing team, it becomes kind of a side project on the back burner. So it's essential to have internal alignment with those teams and work towards understanding what are their goals, what are their KPIs, and where does partnership fit in, and how can we help one another do great things for the company. So one of the first things I work on is alignment with the sales team. We're very aligned with sales as a partner ecosystem developer. We want to help support sales through our partners in a couple ways. One is partners bringing great opportunities to us, but also our sales team having confidence that our partners are able to support their prospects and customers. So gaining that confidence is step one. You also want to make sure you have alignment with the product team. So that was a big step for us. We're working on the Connect Partner Program relaunch here at CIO, which is really exciting. But through that, I would never be able to make as much progress in the short amount of time I did without working with our product team and our engineers and having a liaison between, so we can explain the value of why partnerships really help with our overall company goals and strategy.
Right. And layering on that is so crucial to get stakeholder alignment, because if everyone isn't bought in, you're going to get friction internally and no one's got time for that. So I think giving everyone a piece of the pie and getting them involved and showcasing their impact is a really easy way to get more supporters, get more resources, which we all struggle for in partnerships, and eventually grow your partner ecosystem.
I would
Awesome.
totally agree on that. Like, the more stakeholders you can have and highlighting their success with yours
Yes.
side by side. My company meetings, I'm like, thank you, marketing, for our co-branded
Yes.
efforts with partners. Here's the impact. We had the highest number of MQLs, the lowest cost per lead in our first 2 co-branded webinars. Like, this is success for marketing, this is success for partnerships, and this is success for sales. It's also success for product. So you have to make sure that alignment's there, but it's not just I'm asking you to do things for me. It's here's what I can do. How can we help one another with those KPIs?
Yes, and that actually is a great segue into Kaushik. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but they had asked, have you seen shared OKRs across teams help with this kind of evangelism?
I think I'm happy to answer that, because as I was mentioning in the chat, something I try to do, tying into what Jennifer was saying about stakeholder alignment, is tie your OKRs into the company's top 3 OKRs, and then ladder that with other leaders in the C-suite and your peers to build into their OKRs. I think if you're somehow aligned to other people's success metrics, they'll give you resources and give you attention. And ideally, your compensation, your incentives are also aligned with theirs. So that was a great question, Kaushik. What do you think, Jennifer?
Juhi, I completely agree. Aligning those KPIs and having a better understanding for leadership, there's a million goals, especially when you're young in your partner program. The list is long. Understanding what are the top 3 priorities for the company and how does partnership support that? And who do we need to pull in to get to the level we're hoping to get to? Oftentimes that's marketing, sales, product, and even customer success. That's another big piece, because when you're working with a partner, eventually that partner needs a smooth transition back into your software, your program, and making sure that that transition happens and there's no confusion from the client is a really big success.
So yes, and do you find yourself, thinking, trying to sort of come back to the partner onboarding process, those KPIs, are you sort of working backwards from there to then build the materials that you need to then train your partners? Is that how you're both approaching that?
Yeah, because for enablement, for example, you can ladder into their priorities and say, we're going to reuse your materials, and this is how we're going to scale. For marketing, you can tie into their MQLs and their goals and KPIs. So very much so. I think onboarding is your first touch point with a customer or partner. I think it's crucial to get that right. And so the more alignment you have across the board, the more likely you are to be successful.
I echo that. And I can tell you've had great experience with partner ecosystem development, Juhi. I would say as well, when you are looking at partner onboarding and keeping those KPIs in mind, it's really important to build them in and get accountability with partners, which I'm sure we'll discuss, that they are on the same page with how can we mutually help each other with this partnership. It is a two-way street.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, I'm sure those are coming. I did want to come back to Lindsay's question. She had asked early on, she would like some unique ideas on how to really activate VC partners to refer their portfolio companies, ? So I don't know if you want to emphasize that a little bit more, Lindsay, but does that land for both of you? Do you guys feel like you can talk about that?
I can talk about it to a degree, but excited to hear Juhi's thoughts on this.
Well, I have a little bit of experience with this. I ran a program at Microsoft working with VC firms. And so the lessons we took away were we needed to figure out which niche of portfolio companies we were solving a problem for, define that problem together, again, with Jennifer. As Jennifer said, hold your partners accountable. In this case, it's the VC firm and their portfolio companies and the KPIs you agree to, and then agree on a plan with them, agree on a timeline with them. And I think once everyone's in alignment, I like to start with a pilot. I think doing a pilot is a really controlled way to figure out the kinks in your program and scale from there. But how to get VCs on board, I think comes back to having a unique value proposition that solves a pain point for their portcos, just like any partnership.
I would say I focused more in agency and connect partnerships, though I had a brief stint where I was looking at opportunities and joining as a partner ecosystem developer for startups. I personally feel that these are two different jobs. I have a great partner at CIO named Dee. She's amazing and she handles our startup program, but there is a lot of alignment between us because there's some confusion and overlap from partners from time to time. So as far as like the VCs go, visibility, one, do you have a program? Is it visible that you have a program? What are the benefits of your program? How is it going to help their incubators and their startups thrive and succeed? A lot of times these programs come at great discounts for great value for customers, but making sure that you understand what type of VCs you want to welcome on and have a process and an onboarding process for them. It's different than agency and different than connect. My connect partners, my agency partners, and my startup partners all expect slightly different things from our program, and that's okay. What I like to do is bring them together in what I would think of as a partner ecosystem. They help with startups. They can do great things there. Another agency helps with all the onboarding and helps to lay that foundation for success. And then you have our connect partners that have the connection between the apps that they use day to day and how to bring them into the system. So I'd say, again, it kind of comes down to that internal alignment. But if you're having someone do startups, agency, and connect, they might have a lot on their plate.
They'd have to be superhuman almost, right?
I mean, truly, that's why I'm grateful and happy to have somebody so qualified, Dee, as I mentioned, with our startup program, who we connected at our recent retreat and talked through what their current process looks like and how to make sure that partners are filtered into the right bucket, and having a tool like Kiflo to help to separate those different partners and say, this is a connect partner, this is a startup partner, and this is an agency partner. And these are the ones that want to do co-branding and marketing with us.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm looking at all of these questions in the chat and I'm totally listening, but there is a lot going on over there. So
I love it. It's an active group.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. This is amazing. And Lindsay, I hope that answered your question. If it didn't, feel free to ask follow-up questions, but I'm going to go ahead and move on. So there was a really interesting question about there being, this idea of ways to get that first win for your partner faster. And they were explaining that it typically happens after, I think, maybe the first 2 weeks. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm curious. This is something that comes up a lot in partner onboarding, this idea of make them win and make them win fast. So what are some insight or some advice that you might have for folks to help their partners get that first win, and possibly even extending those wins pretty consistently so that we avoid inactivity from our partners?
I'm happy to start unless Juhi want to start at this. Okay.
No, go for it.
I have been part of many different partner ecosystems. Some of them, I would say, are a little bloated with too many partners and too few opportunities. I try to go deeper with the partners we have and make sure we have the right partners for different industries, for different experience levels, and for different services. So we're very selective on the partners we bring on. This also has helped us to be one of the top 10 referral partner programs since I joined, according to Partner Page, which is really exciting. Thank you, Partner Page, for the great opportunity there and for just doing a deep study on this, because though some partner programs are bigger, others go deeper. We go deeper. We want to have deep connections with our partners. We have to have regular reoccurring meetings for that partnership agreement to be met. And we want to understand what their goals are. Again, it goes back to that two-way street. As we're referring opportunities to you that you're qualified for, we want to make sure you're keeping us in mind too. So for our partners, as you reach different tiers, that gives you more visibility within our community. That community is our sales team. That community is our connect partners. And that community is also, if it makes sense, our startup partners.
Those are all great points. And it comes back to, what do you define as a win? And I think that's something you need to come to a joint agreement on. I think you can also have different levels of wins, as Jennifer was saying. You can have a quick and dirty win with some co-marketing, and that makes the marketing team happy, and it makes your leadership happy if you showcase them. The next win could be a joint case study if you have mutual customers, or an upsell, co-sell campaign done by marketing. These are all tactical, easy things you can do without having to build an integration, without a huge amount of lift. And ideally, it's something you have in place in your onboarding program that you could just repurpose time and time again for different partners. I think for me, wins come in different forms, but for a new partner, I want to make them the hero. And how do I do that? Ideally, it's by elevating their presence in the partner ecosystem they want to play in. And what better way to do that than like a showcase on their leadership or one of our mutual customers or something tactical like that.
I love that, Juhi. And I will echo a little bit on that, is we strive to engage our connect and agency partners and our startup partners as well, that's not under my umbrella. My goal is to have at least once a month, a 30-minute, like we're doing now, to highlight what that partner can do, how that partner can support our customers, what differentiates them, so that our sales team knows. And then we create these battle cards, if you will, that kind of describe their services in a few bullets. So as the sales team's having these conversations, we have a recording if they weren't able to attend live, and we all have growing teams, let's hope. Then we also give them that opportunity to get to know our sales team and get to know our product by giving them access to a partner portal. We want our partners to go through a certification and be very well versed in what we do. And as they continue to bring on customers or support our customers, they move up in our tier system, which allows us to continue on with additional partner-led onboarding and co-marketing opportunities.
Absolutely. And that was something, Jennifer, that you spoke about a lot in your Greatest Minds and Partnerships was, and I think it's something really worth highlighting here, is this idea of like connection with community also being a win, and defining that as a win also. If the partner is more connected to the community of your partners, your customers, so on and so forth, the likelihood, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the likelihood of them going inactive is probably going to diminish significantly because it becomes their own part of their own ecosystem also.
100%. Like partners, the big feedback after acquiring many of our partners, we had our first launch of the partner program about a year ago. They brought me on to help refine the process. Is, you know what they want? They want community. I mean, we lacked community for a while. And because we don't have a bloated partner program, we just bring on the right amount of people saying to buy, the right amount of people in a certain industry. And then as need grows, we grow it. There's not this super competitive feeling between them. They feel they can really learn from one another, and they want that knowledge. They want to learn from the top agency partners. And this is part of what I took from my HubSpot experience. We used to have Partner Day, which many of my partners said was even better for them than Inbound, which is amazing. I mean, how can you get better than Barack and Michelle Obama presenting? But they love that opportunity to meet in a smaller group with other like-minded partners to learn what's working in hiring, what's working in scale, what's working in industry. They want to share that knowledge, giving them a format to do so. So we hold roundtables kind of like this. We encourage partners to speak about their experience and have different topics that they can join in on. Eventually, we want our top partners to help lead those roundtables because they're the leaders and partner, like how to run a partnership and how to run an agency or a connect program.
That's one, yeah, giving them more and more responsibility within their role in the community. Awesome.
Exactly.
I want to be mindful because we've had quite a few questions still, and we're almost at the end of the session. So there was a question from Daniel regarding Kiflo's onboarding features that I wanted to address very quickly. Daniel, I'd actually love to talk to you about that in more detail, but Kiflo does have an onboarding pipeline, and it's completely customizable. So anybody that is using Kiflo or is interested in using Kiflo, you're welcome to, based on the needs of that specific program, and you can have multiple within Kiflo. You can build out the customized onboarding pipeline, and that can include different steps, sharing content. You can document that, keep track of that, keep metrics on it. So if you would like more information about that, let's talk after, and I'd be happy to send over some more documentation for you as well. We also had the next question was, please share your experience onboarding ISV and GSI relationships, if any, in case we're touching that today as well. That'll really help.
That's a detailed one.
Do you want to take that one?
You want to take that one? I mean, you have the Microsoft background.
And I'll try and touch on the other question that was there as well, because we're short on time. Like, how do you reward them for onboarding? I think
yes, that was on my list too. Yeah.
Super quick and easy. Have a template for PR, like a press release. That's what we did in Microsoft. We had everything pre-scripted. You can customize XYZ pieces. Don't need our review. Push it out, and we'll celebrate with you and Amplify. So that's a quick and dirty one.
Juhi, love that. Did the same thing as I came on board. I was like, we all need partner badges, and there's a press release for I came on board as a partner. There's a press release for our pilot with partner-led onboarding and a special badge that partners can highlight on their website. And there's also different tier ones that we're working on. I'm now gold tiered. This is your script. No need to go back and forth. Alleviate the friction is, I think, what Juhi is getting at too, is like,
100%.
The template can be the same every time. If they want to change something, let us know. But 90% of partners are like, this looks great and it saves me time. Thank you. And then highlight that, tweet it, like LinkedIn it, like showcase your partners. They're accomplishing great things for their companies and for yours.
Perfect. And I'll give the 2-minute TLDR and GSI and ISV partnerships if you want to know more. Happy to type something out. But I think both of them are great partner segments. I think you need to know when you want to go after each. I think GSIs need to have really good training, certification, onboarding processes. ISVs, it's a bit different. You can have different segments for them, such as co-marketing tiers, co-selling tiers. And as Jennifer was saying earlier on, a lot of this can be programmatic. But there are different paths, there are different incentives. So for both, it's really important to understand what success means for them. Usually it's pipeline, but different kinds of pipeline. Usually they work with different teams within your company. For example, GSIs or SIs work with customer success because it's implementation based or perhaps enablement. Your tech partners or ISVs tend to work more with the sales team or marketing because their incentives are different. And you run different spiffs or provide different incentives to both partners that are different. Gosh, I keep using that word, but they are different. So
they're different.
That's a takeaway. They're different. They're different. They should be respected and treated a little bit differently, but programmatic. Do not reinvent the wheel for every partner. That is not a way to scale. You need to create templates, processes. You need your template for, I'm now a gold tiered partner. You need badges ready. You need contracts ready to go. Like, don't just wing it. Get yourself a good lawyer. Write out that contract. Get the partners excited and make sure that you're crossing the T's and dotting the I's before you get 100 partners deep is another thing I'd recommend. You can pilot with the first 50, but after that, you have a mature partner program and you need to make sure you have systematic processes in place.
And make sure you get their exec teams to buy in, because otherwise there's no point in this exercise.
Honestly, like it has to be an executive team on our partner kickoff, and the executive leadership team is all encouraged to join. Without the executive leadership, as Juhi is highlighting, like you're not going to go far in a partnership.
Yeah, having not just the internal alignment with your team, your executives, but also on their side of things as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think that is pretty much all we have time for, folks. If we did not get to your question, I'm so sorry. I loved how active this was, though. So thank you so much for all of your wonderful questions. Reach out to us if you have more. We're all here for you. I know these two, I'm kind of speaking for them, but I know them well enough now to know that I know they'll answer your questions. So add them on LinkedIn, add me on LinkedIn. We'll be happy to help out as much as we can. And speaking of that, everybody check your inboxes tomorrow, because we will be sending additional resources to help you out with your onboarding strategy. So articles, downloads, all the things you can think of. We're putting it, packaging it all together and sending it to you. So keep an eye out for that. And be sure to check out, if you like more learning resources, please feel free to check out the Kiflo Academy. It's finally live. It was a beautiful, wonderful labor of love. It was kind of my baby. So do it for me. Go check it out. And there's a lot of great courses on there about different, aspects of partnership strategy. So I hope that you find that useful. Juhi, Jennifer, did you want to add anything else before we say goodbye to everybody today?
I'm going to add one thing. First, I want to say, Shawnee, thank you so much for the opportunity. Juhi, it has been a pleasure getting to know you and presenting with you. I hope to continue to connect with you in the future on partnerships. It's amazing to work with fellow women leaders in tech. Sign up for the Greatest Mind in Partnerships. Like, look at the opportunities to continue to grow, continue to learn. This is a fairly new field. Like, there's so much to learn from one another. And I do all the partner opportunities I have to learn. And this is a great one I just put in the chat, where you can learn from the leaders in partnership and connect with us. We're friendly people. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm happy to have a conversation. And I've done many of those for other leaders in tech that are looking at developing partnership programs and partner ecosystems.
100% echo that. And don't be strangers. And we will miss working with you, Shawnee.
Yes. Yeah, this has been amazing. Thank you so much. And yes, if anyone is interested in joining our series on the Greatest Minds in Partnerships, please reach out. I try to do my due diligence, but I am just one person. So if you would like to be interviewed, please reach out to us. We'd love to have you, love to highlight your voice and your program on that site. But yeah, thank you. Thank you again, everyone. Thank you for all your amazing questions. And thank you so much, Juhi and Jennifer, for your time and your wisdom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shawnee. Thank you, Juhi. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Need me, LinkedIn.
Have a great one. Bye.